The year is coming to its end, here at the eastern side of the Alps. And we have entered the most magical time, the 12 Midwinter Nights, Jewel Nights, or as we call it in Austria, Rauhnächte. We go through the longest nights of the year, celebrating the light of the sun returning. Today, I will take you with me on my Rauhnächte journey. I love those days between the years when it's quiet and dark, when time deepens and the veil between the worlds is thinning. We can dive into our inner soul space, listening to the spirits. Long forgotten myths are woven around this time. The wild hunt, Odin and Percht, the birth of the light. When we dive deep, we can connect with this ancient wisdom. Midwinter nights are about the old mysticism of darkness and light. Light and darkness both are precious. When it's dark outside, you can see the stars shining bright. For me, this darkness feels like a big blanket, a womb where new things can emerge. When it's dark, I can see my inner light more clearly. It leads me on my path. Each year, I go through the 12 Midwinter Nights in a conscious way. Being out in the forest and in the mountains is one of the most important things for me. Getting in contact with my body, with nature. When I'm skiing, I feel the midwinter vibe in a special way. I get in flow states, into mystical states. Just be. This year I meet my friend. She's a witch and follows a pagan path. I am a mystic. I travel between the worlds. We spend one day together, where we dive deep into old magic. We create an altar with the runes I painted on stones. Runes are old symbols. They open doors to ancient wisdom. On the midwinter altar, we also put evergreen, a mistletoe, antlers, a shell, candles, feathers, crystals, some tarot cards. All 4 elements are present. In the afternoon, we go into the forest, searching for the right place to burn incense. It's windy and cold, so it's not easy to light the fire for the charcoal. Finally, we did it, and we burn mugwort, a herb which grows here at our place. Mugwort has a long history in ritual use. It's for energetic cleansing. It protects against negative influences. It brings you in contact with intuition and the transcendent. You can use it as a bundle or loose. For burning incense in general, you can use a bowl, a stove, a bundle, or a stick. You can use herbs or raisins. We are freezing and desperately in the need for a hot coffee by the fireplace. Later, we go outside again to make a fire ritual. My friend starts drumming and my body wants to dance. When I'm moving like this, I get into a trance state easily, diving into my soul space and receiving visions. It's a non-verbal, intuitive space, dream space or shaman space. At the end, we give our wishes for the new year into the fire. The atmosphere in the altar room has changed. We dive into sacred silence, connecting with the spirits of the Rauhnächte. Giving them a little concert with our singing bowls. The evening we dedicate to the tarot, one of my favorite ways of divination. During Rauhnächte, the tarot cards can speak in a powerful way. Let me explain how I use the cards, and let me talk about the most important thing to do during the 12 Spirit Nights. When it's quiet and dark, you can see the stars shining bright. I know there are many books nowadays about Rauhnächte, about the 12 Midwinter Nights, about Jul. You can get inspirations from this, but the most important thing in my eyes and from my experience is to get in contact with this time quality by yourself. Just step back, become quiet, be in contact with this stillness, breathe, and sink into your inner soul space. Be in contact with your soul. And what also helps a lot is be in contact with nature. So for me, one of the most important things during this time is to go out into the forest, maybe go skiing or hiking. You can also dance, you can do active meditation, you can do breath work, you can go out with your dog, you can go for walks with your family. Get in contact with nature, get in contact with your body, and get in contact with your own intuition and your soul space. During this time, especially when you go outside, it's easier to connect with soul space because the quality of this time will help you, it will support you. Leave the city and leave all those hectic Christmas activities. This is very important during this time. Yeah, and it may also happen that emotions come up. For some people, once they get into this stillness and once they get out of their hectic life, emotions come up and things come up they didn't recognize before. So for some people, it doesn't mean, okay, it's quiet and now you can sink into this inner soul space and the world opens up, which is ideally the case. But for some people, the first thing that happens is emotions coming up, thoughts coming up, or like this. Yeah. I organized and led 3 retreats, midwinter retreats, Rauhnächte retreats, here in our hotel. The first 2 days, when people arrive, there is so much going on and chit-chatting and talking, and the atmosphere, the energy is like this. And then, after 2 days of meditating, dancing, getting in contact with nature, getting in contact with your body, and having some rituals, daily rituals, I can feel how the atmosphere in the seminar room, it becomes quiet and dense, and then the magic can emerge. Yeah. So just take your time, and yeah, sometimes it takes a couple of days. What else can you do during Rauhnächte or winter solstice? It's the perfect time for rituals. And also here, I would suggest choose something which you really like. Even if it's an old tradition or people say it's an old tradition, choose those rituals that you really feel connected with. I rediscovered the runes for myself. I really like to use them, and they opened up a new world for me. They are the runes of this video. I chose them for the Rauhnächte video, and I will talk about them later. And with the runes, you have to learn about what they mean. You have to just, look it up or take a course. That's one thing. The second thing is that you have to go in contact with them with your own intuition. Make an inner journey and visualize them or listen to what they tell you and see what emerges, what rises up inside yourself. Runes, tarot cards, other type of cards. I use the chte tarot. Yeah, so that's the tarot deck I prefer to use. So, and those are beautiful cards. So there are many techniques to use the cards. What I usually do is the easiest way to use the cards. I focus on a question I have, or it can be also the quality of the day. Yeah, it doesn't matter. It can be the quality of the day, it can be a card for the next year, for the coming year, or it can be a question. For example, when I wrote my book, I had sometimes problems with writing, and then I asked the cards, what's up with this book? Yeah. And then I choose 3 cards. The first card tells me what's up. Unterdrückung. So not such a good card. Yeah. It reflects my experience with writing this book. I will not go into detail. I just show you how I do it. Yeah. So you can say, okay, this is what is. Yeah. What is now. Then the second card is the card which shows me what helps me, what can help me in this situation. Yeah. So this card, fire card, this card can help me. And then, yeah, help me to get out of this situation. And then I choose a third card. What can be the possible outcome, or what learning experience is this for? Yeah. Oh, work. Yeah, the 3 discs. Mhm. What I really like is choosing a card for a day, or maybe next week, or also the next year. I usually have a rune of the year, but you can also choose a tarot card of the year. And then you choose a card. For example, this. It's indulging in things. Yeah, so then okay, this will be present next year, and this is something I can be conscious about. Yeah, and the tarot cards, divination in general, if it's tarot cards, if it's nature, or if it's the runes, I don't use this in a way like, this, exactly this, and only this will happen next year. It's a topic where you can focus your consciousness on. Usually, we have topics and things happening in our lives and also in our soul space which are unconscious. They happen anyways. If you choose this card or not, they happen anyways. But divination channeling, tarot cards, the runes, all those things, it speaks the language of the soul and it speaks the language of consciousness. Usually in our modern, postmodern life, we use a very analytical language, or we don't talk about those things anyways. We only talk about things which we can measure, the issues of the soul and the issues of the psyche and the issues of the spirit world and the transcendent around us. We usually, or many people, don't think about this, and their consciousness is not focused on this. And then they're not aware of it. And when you're not aware of things, it's like being blind, things happening to you, and you're not aware of it. And with some awareness, things can become easier to handle. Yeah. So, this is what the cards, the tarot cards, are for, to be aware of things, to raise things into your consciousness which are usually hidden deep down in your soul space. Another thing you can do during Rauhnächte, which is very common here in Austria, in the Alps, is burning incense. I prefer natural incense, so not those sticks with perfume, things like this. I don't really like, I wouldn't recommend this. And with the incense, it's even more the case that it's important to listen to your intuition and to, yeah, just to smell and to get a feeling, is this incense the right thing for me now? Is this something which is helpful now? Do I really get in contact with this? Do I like this at this moment? Yeah, let your inner wisdom decide. So now I come to the end of this video. And at the end of my videos, I usually talk about the symbols of this video. And yeah, I already mentioned it. For this video, I have two symbols, and those are two runes. This is rune Pertro, yeah, and you already see it's like open, and there is this huge space inside. Yeah, I can also do it like this. This rune is the perfect rune for the time between the years because it's about this open space. You see, this open space you can dive in, this inner cave, this soul space you can get in contact with. So, this rune is about depth, it's about mystery, discovering mystery. It's about the spirit world inside yourself, where new things can emerge out of it. Yeah. So it's like a magic bowl. It looks like a magic bowl. You can use it to, yeah, for alchemy. This is also something which comes up now. Yeah. It's this alchemistic space you can dive in during winter solstice, Rauhnächte, the Jewel nights. Yeah, it's a sacred space where things happen. The second rune I have is the rune Sovilo, and this rune is about the sun. The sun coming back again, the days getting longer, And it's also about vitality. Nature is longing for the sun after the winter. It's longing for the sun to come back again, for the warmth, so that everything can grow again. This rune is also about your inner light. You can get in contact with your inner light during Rauhnächte, during those midwinter nights. So it's also about being in contact with your soul space, your inner light, your inner guidance, your inner sun, your consciousness, all things like this. So trust your inner light to guide you on your soul path and to guide you through the next year.